we have to see that this learning which has come so easy to the girls of today was not there in the past. Learning, reading and writing was not there for everybody in the past. That is, it was restricted not only to the boys but also to a particular segment, that is to a particular section and sect of the society. And it were only the boys and the upper section of the society which went to study in the schools. In the families where they practiced certain art and crafts like the pottery making, the weaving, the women were just considered as supporters. Nobody could dream of an independent potter. That is, she could not sit on the potter's wheel. She could dig the mud and make the clays ready for the potter to put it in the potter's wheel, but could not sit on the wheel herself. Of course, the things went to a dramatic and a drastic change in the 19th century, where more and more girls were encouraged to go to school and study. But there have been so many before them who have given a big change to the society, who are the pioneers in bringing about this enlightenment and awakening. And I am going to tell you the example of few of them. The first is, of course, of Ramabai Pandita. Ramabai Pandita never went to school, but she learnt herself and thus got the title of Pandita, that is becoming a Pandit, a learned woman. And she started off a mission at Khedgaon near Pune to educate other girls. And we also hear of Rashasundari Devi, who was married at a very early age into a very rich landlord family. But she had the lust, the desire of learning. And at that time, the women of the rich landlord's house had to work very hard in the kitchen day and night. And to think of learning to read and write was an offense which was unpardonable. But she learned to read and write by herself when everybody used to sleep. And it so happened that she wrote an autobiography of herself telling about the practical difficulties of learning and reading of a woman in India named Amar Jiban. When she actually learnt, she used to compare the alphabets with the book and try and recognize if they were similar. The first book which she started to read was Chaitanya Bhagavat, when she learnt to read by herself. It was with great efforts, and this had been left, the book Chaitanya Bhagavat, by mistake by her husband, and was in fact told to the son to keep it safe until he asks. So that was the grit and determination of Rashasundari Devi, who learned to read and write by herself without any support. Can you think of such a determination? Then I talk of Ruqayya Sakhawat Hussain. Ruqayya Sakhawat Hussain was so much in love with learning that she wrote a beautiful story named Sultana's Dream, and she learned to read in English, and in this story she reaches a lady land where the pilots, the drivers, the farmers, everybody there is a lady and not a man. And later on she started with a girls' school in Kolkata with a mission to make other girls learn, read and write.